as we often do here at Turning Point. Said, every time the communist left have a televised event, have a live broadcast to counter that event. Which, again, is not at all what we were doing from a legal standpoint. But it actually is a good idea. Try to keep it under wraps as long as possible, just to screw them over as much as possible. Yeah, the problem, I like the idea, I like the thought. The only problem would be then, you have to promote it, and keeping it under wraps, kind of difficult to do. So there's that. There's one more email on Islam. Maybe we'll get to that a little bit later on, maybe a different show. But hey, appreciate you sticking around, tuning in. tpt@tpusa.com is the email address if you'd like to get a chance at mentioning on here in Real America's Voice in our email segment. Like I said, really appreciate you sticking around through the kind of the waves of differences on this show. We're nailing it. We're going to get the format nailed down. Not to put onto you the internal discussions we have here, but we will get it nailed down. Really appreciate you sticking around, tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. God bless America.
For me in those glory days of old. Where is your song for justice? Where is your song for the working man? I was born in the USA, and you still my promised land. You preach from your mansion, but you don't know the cost. I thank God you're not the boss.
Welcome to After Hours with Alex Stein. It's a beautiful Tuesday evening in the DFW area, and I'm so honored to have our guest. You were just listening to her new hit song, Natasha Owens, The Boss, and we welcome on the beautiful, the lovely, the talented country music superstar, future superstar, already superstar. I don't want to be egregious, but I want to be fair. Natasha, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, you got to talk louder than that already. I can already tell. Do not be shy, Natasha. I know that you're already pro big booty Latina. We already talked a little bit before the show. So Natasha, she's getting all quiet. She wouldn't shut up before the show started. Now you're sitting over there being quiet, and her husband's over there watching. I'm sure she's afraid that I'm going to say something rude. But I want to tell you this much, Natasha. Bruce Springsteen used to be one of the biggest icons in music history, and now he's like a libtarded woke freak.
He sure is.
Why did he go that way? I mean, a guy that was so well respected, especially like on the East Coast, like people worship Bruce Springsteen like he was like a deity or like a godlike figure.
Oh, yeah.
And now he stinks.
Well, he's always been that way. He was a draft dodger. He's always been so liberal, but people loved his music, so they just overlooked it, didn't care. But now politics is involved in everything that's culture.
Well, there was like a Pete Holmes bit where, what song is it? Because I don't know all of Bruce Springsteen songs. I grew up in the 90s. Like, I listened to Wu-Tang Clan. But what was the one where it's like kind of about like a little girl, about how he liked a little girl? Do you know the song I'm talking about?
I have not heard the pedophile song, but
okay,
I like Born in the USA, and those lyrics weren't in that.
That's a great song. Born in the USA is a great song. I mean, even though it's libtarded, it's still a good song. We can give credit where credit's due. So tonight, though, we're going to dive deep into Savannah Guthrie. We're going to talk about Michael Jackson. We're going to play your song and play the music video, which is getting, very well received everywhere. I think it's, gone viral on Instagram and Twitter. So it's a very popular song. And at a time where conservatives don't have a lot of artists that actually mention people like Laken Riley, who was brutally murdered by a Trendearuga gang member that came here during the Biden administration, just free and clear, like it was no big deal, like he was on vacation, but he was literally raping girls at a gas station and murdering her brutally. So I appreciate you bringing awareness to a topic that the mainstream media would never touch.
Yeah, I'm controversial in the circles that we walk in, right? I'm like kryptonite a lot of times, but I'm very bold and unapologetic. I don't apologize. I double down. And I think the world is wanting that. They're wanting truth, and they're wanting someone that will just stand up and say it's not right, and we're pushing back against this culture ideology.
Well, you're exactly right. I go and I speak at a lot of colleges, and I'm not a role model. You can look at me. I'm not much of a role model, but I do tell people that I was telling you a little bit about my background, but when I started living unapologetically myself, and not worrying about the opinions of strangers.
Yeah.
Of course you worry about the opinions of your husband, your wife, your family, because, you live with them. But other than your family or really close friends, you shouldn't worry about the opinions of strangers, because it's like, what do they say? It's like opinions are like buttholes. Everybody has one and they all stink. I guess that's for excuses, but I think opinions...
it works.
Yeah, I think it works for opinions too. So, Natasha, you and I were talking a little bit about this incredible story about Savannah Guthrie. Am I saying that right? They're getting mad at me for not saying it right. Is it Guthrie? How do I say it?
Kamala, tomato, like, I don't know.
All right,
I call her Guthrie.
But I want to say Guthrie. Like, who, Guth? I mean, that's goo to me. But listen, I'm not a linguist. I'm just primetime Alex Stein. So I want to play this news clip where it has footage of the alleged kidnapper, but could it be AI? There's been footage where it looks like Savannah has like 6 fingers. So I'm really starting to question what is real and what is fake. But let's play this clip, and then I want to get your reaction to it.
New details on the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie.
Yeah, big developments today. Investigators releasing images of a masked person at Guthrie's home. And this is big news as they piece together what happened to Today's Show co-anchor Savannah Guthrie's 84-year-old mother. Today, the FBI released a new surveillance video of a subject in this investigation. Take a look at this video, not this video, but they have video from a Nest camera at Nancy Guthrie's home outside Tucson, Arizona.
The video shows someone wearing a mask who authorities say is armed. Here's that video, and appears to have tampered with Nancy Guthrie's front door the morning she disappeared. There's a recent post as well from Savannah Guthrie pleading for help, saying they are in an hour of desperation.
So I'm coming on just to ask you, not just for your prayers, but no matter where you are, even if you're far from Tucson, if you see anything, if you hear anything, if there's anything at all that seems strange to you, that you report to law enforcement. We are at an hour of desperation, and we need your help.
Nancy Guthrie was first reported missing on...
And I just want to say that I'm very empathetic to Savannah. I know that she's going through a tough time, and a lot of people, they think their life is bad. But believe it or not, even if you're a multimillionaire TV host, terrible things happen to you too. So, and I'm not trying to like put her on a pedestal. I'm just saying it's like life is very short. That's why we need to have gratitude that we're not in the situation that our mom got kidnapped. But I say that because I want to say that video looked like garbage. It looked fake. It looked weird to me. Even the Nest logo in it looked kind of weird. So what do you think's going on? Like, could this be an inside job in your opinion,
It's
Natasha?
looking like that. Every day it's a weirder detail that comes in and out. And I think, actually, I recognize that person behind the mask. It looked like Hillary Clinton to me.
It kind of did. Well,
I'm just saying.
I think it looked like a white guy. So the idea that like it was like a cartel member or something, I don't think that that's real at all. And, speaking of that, we have a clip. Now, this is a homicide veteran that is basically saying and agreeing with what we were saying about how a lot of this doesn't pass a sniff test, because a real like assassin or kidnapper, if you're going to take somebody for ransom and they were 84 years old, you would actually be smart enough to also take the medication. So let's play this clip of this veteran homicide investigator.
I don't think she was kidnapped. We would have heard, listen, there would have been a video, there would have been a photograph, there would have been something, a lock of hair, a drop of blood, something mailed to somebody so they could verify, yes, in fact, these people have my mother. Kidnappers want to get paid quickly. They don't want this thing to linger. If you're negotiating with another drug dealer in South America somewhere, it could go on for a few weeks, a month, until they get bored and decide this is not worth it. And it's either pay up or we're going to kill this person. And it's always a negotiation, right? The first figure they throw out is never what actually gets paid, like any good business deal. There's going to be a negotiation, but it's going to be a fast and hard one. And there's been no negotiations. No one's called up and said, hey, where's my money? That hasn't happened. For the simple reason is nobody's kidnapped her, I don't think. If you're a good kidnapper, you're going to grab the medication on the way out the door because you're going to have to take care of her. You're going to have to keep her alive and healthy, right? So it shows a total lack of planning, the total lack of forensic evidence of anyone being in that house, of grabbing her, is another clue that she wasn't kidnapped.
Now, this kind of reminds me of the situation with Seth Rich. Now, Seth Rich was a DNC staffer that was allegedly the one that was responsible for leaking the Hillary emails and leaking a lot of information that made the Democratic Party look bad before the 2016 election. And whoever killed Seth Rich, I'm not saying Hillary Clinton, probably Hillary Clinton, but they robbed him but didn't take his wallet, didn't take his watch, and I think he had an expensive watch. So, once again, didn't pass the smell test. And I think what's so spooky about this, Natasha, is that the connection to the Clintons seems like overwhelmingly close. The fact that Savannah's husband worked for a company that was hired by the Clintons to scrub people's, I guess, embarrassing information off the internet. And coming up next, but I want to get your opinion, we're actually going to play a clip that really connects the Clintons to the Guthries. But what do you think about all this when that homicide investigator says, you know, this doesn't look like a real kidnapping? I tend to agree with him.
It looked like amateur hour to me. I mean, look how he fumbled with the Ring camera. I think I could do better than that.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, he pulls up a bunch of weeds to put in front of it. Like, it just looked like somebody that they hired down at Bubba's garage to you know, take this woman.
Yeah, he's like a ChatGPT assassin. I mean, they're just not even real. It just seems very bizarre. Even the video seems bizarre. So, I mean, like I said earlier, my heart goes out to Savannah. I don't think that she would organize this, even though she probably... I mean, I don't want to say this. She probably likes that she's super famous from this, but at the same exact time, I mean, I would be very worried if my 84-year-old mother was in the hands of somebody evil without her medication, and that would make me absolutely sick. So coming up next, guys, we're going to actually dive even deeper, and we're going to connect the Clintons to the Guthries, and we're also going to go into a lot more information from Megyn Kelly talking about how NBC pressured her to show a lot of her personal family information, and a lot of this doesn't make sense, but coming up next, we're going to get into all of that.
In those glory days of old, where is your song for justice? Where is your song for the working man? I was born.
Welcome to Real America's Voice, Real Minute. Your quick look at the powerful stories of faith and freedom, inspiring audiences across the nation. Angel Studios presents.
I'm Bo Davidson with this Real America's Voice, Real Minute. Most people know the biblical story of David, the shepherd boy who fought Goliath and became king. Well, Angel Studios has created a new animated film called David that tells the story of Israel's greatest king.
There's a light I've always followed when I'm looking for the way, when I'm searching for the answer. In the moments I'm afraid, there's a whisper in the wind and a story in the sky. When I'm looking for a lantern to illuminate the night. If you want the secret of freedom and feeling alive, you gotta follow the light. Follow the light.
For those who love great animated classics like The Lion King and Prince of Egypt, David is an awe-inspiring animated musical that depicts David as a spirited boy who fought lions, giants, and even betrayal, depicting how one boy's faith could lead him to be king of Israel. David will be released in theaters just in time for Christmas on December 19th, but your family can get a head start by watching the prequel to the film, Young David, which is streaming exclusively right now on Angel. It's perfect for the entire family and has memorable music. So once you join the Angel Guild, you can start watching Young David right now and prepare the fam for the David film in theaters in December. And by joining the Guild, you'll guarantee 2 free tickets to see it. And it's a great value. Let's be honest, going to the movies isn't all that cheap. But if you're a member of the Angel Guild, not only do you get those 2 free tickets to David, but you'll now have access to every single film or TV series on Angel at your convenience anytime. So just go to angel.com/Rav and join there.
Hi, my name is Tracy L. from Arizona. I don't stink around in the kitchen when it comes to the news. I watch Real America's Voice, which always serves accurate and reliable updates that are on point with their amazing hosts. So don't find yourself in a pickle by tuning into the fake news. Stick
You guys are watching After Hours with Alex Stein, and we have a great guest in studio. She is a country music hit. She's got a hit right now. But even though she was kind of getting on to me, this is a rock hit, and it's by Natasha Owens. It's called The Boss. But before we even get deeper into your music career, I want to continue on the path that we're on right now, you know, because Savannah Guthrie right now is very viral. I mean, I don't think she wants to be viral for what she's viral for, but regardless, she is the most talked about thing on the internet besides the Epstein files. So you were kind of joking earlier about the Clinton kill list. And I wish that this was a joke. I wish we were making this up. But if you look at the amount of people connected to Hillary Clinton that have died under mysterious circumstances, it really almost looks like she's a professional assassin herself. Now, I'm not saying Hillary Clinton was the one shooting all these people, but when you have people that are connected to her that committed suicide by shooting themselves 3 times, kind of makes you question the validity of their suicide. So I want to play this clip from, she's a little bit of a crazy woman on TikTok, but we need more crazy women on TikTok. So let's play this clip that connects the Guthries to the Clintons, and maybe they're motivated in actually taking out Savannah, or maybe making her quiet by taking out her mother. But what do I know? This is pure speculation. This is all alleged right now. So let's play the clip, and then I want to get your reaction to it.
Good morning, everybody. Well, I'll tell you what, I went down a rabbit hole this morning. I had an extra hour before I had to get up and get ready for work. I went down the rabbit hole of Savannah Guthrie. Now, we've all heard about her mother being kidnapped out in Arizona. But I dug a little farther. Her husband, his last name is Feldman. He worked for the Clintons the 8 years they were in office. Okay? He started a company called Grover Park. Basically what they were scrubbers. They would scrub the internet of anything bad that they did not want the public to find out. They would scrape the whole internet, so when you did a search, you couldn't find out anything about it. How much you want to bet? Because the Clintons are going in front of Congress that they struck out to this guy because he was their cleaner. We've all heard about the 50-some-odd people that have had questionable deaths behind the Clintons. We've all heard about them. Not one person in this country has not heard about them. So how much you want to bet they want to keep this guy silent to get his mother-in-law back?
Now, whether it is Seth Rich or Vince Foster, I mean, the list goes on and on of people that have died under mysterious circumstances that are connected to the Clintons. Now, what do you think is going on? I want to get your opinion, Natasha, because a lot of this is we're joking and we're just having a good time, but I think there might be something really sinister right under the surface.
Well, the timing is odd. The fact that they're about to go testify, and I don't think maybe he didn't do a good enough job cleaning. Maybe that's what this whole thing is about. Maybe he knows where all their dirt is, and holding them hostage. They don't want anybody at this point to come up and say anything because they're about to go in front of Congress. So,
well, I mean,
he could be number 99.
That's my number. I'm the Pimp on a Blimp, Primetime 99, Highland Park football captain, 2005. But listen, I think what you said was very poignant. Why would they be motivated to take out somebody, that is connected to the Guthries? Well, if you hired a guy to go and find all of your dirt on the internet and delete it, he would know where all your dirt is. He would have access to all of your dirt.
He'd have some on it.
So instead of taking out Savannah's husband, they take out the mother-in-law of the guy that they want to send a message to. I mean, once again,
makes sense.
I'm a tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist, but there's a lot of coincidences here that just kind of make you go, this seems really weird. And I want to play this clip of Megyn Kelly talking about her time at NBC and the pressure that she felt to kind of let the audience break the fourth wall and see what her personal life was like, see what her family was like. And, I'm of the opinion, if you're the host, you should protect your family a little bit from media, but at the same exact time, as a producer of a TV show and as a guy that's worked on other TV shows, I can understand why they want to show that, because they want to make the person relatable to other people that have families. But I think it does set you up for the possibility that you're going to be vulnerable to somebody that's stalking you or wants to know where you're at or wants to know who your mother is, because most of these people wouldn't even know where your mother lives if you didn't have a clip like Savannah did eating dinner at their house in Tucson, Arizona. So let's play this clip of Megan and get her opinion on all this.
There is a report in the Daily Mail, actually, right now, showing a segment that aired on the Today Show in November, which really isn't that long ago, showing footage from Savannah returning to her hometown of Tucson and being with her mother, Nancy. The Daily Mail is reporting that some at NBC are worried about this segment. It was a homecoming special that they aired. I mean, I have to say, that's the thing about like these morning shows, and having been at the Today Show for a year, they really want you to put your personal life on the air. They press hard for you to like reveal very personal details about your family, your kids, your marriage, your mom, your all of that. There's zero doubt in my mind Savannah felt that too. And here's a clip from what aired.
Mom, you guys came here in the 70s and you'd been moving all around. What made you want to stay in Tucson and plant roots?
It's so wonderful. Just the air, the quality of life is laid back and gentle. Yeah, I like to watch the javelina eat my plants.
But the best thing about Tucson is coming home and seeing you guys. Should we raise a glass? Prickly pear margarita. Cheers. 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 Love you.
Love you.
Now, what they report in the Daily Mail is that this is a quote, there's a lot of soul searching at NBC about whether their segment made Nancy a target. A Today Show source told the Mail. The segment did not feature Nancy's home or disclose details about where she lived, but after this week's events, people around here at NBC, this is a quote, are going to think twice before putting their family on television at all. Man, that's a dark thought.
Now, I'm not saying that NBC has blood on their hands because there was no blood at the crime scene. But to me, I feel like they had blood on their hands. I feel like they, definitely exposed Savannah by putting her mom on blast. And was her 84-year-old mom drinking prickly pear margaritas? That seems a little like a bad daughter. I don't know if you should be getting drunk with your 84-year-old mom. But, different strokes for different folks. And if her mom is 84, I guess she can make her own decisions. She's more than old enough. So after seeing that clip, what is your opinion on it?
I think you mentioned the word Clinton, and I think that's exactly where my mind goes. I don't think NBC put the woman in danger. I think this was an inside hit that was a little too close that has something to do with the Clintons. I mean, that's a big accusation, and I would call you crazy, but there is a weird connection with Savannah's husband working for a company that goes and scrubs all your dirt off the internet. So this guy has access to every single... And they're very dirty.
Yeah, every single embarrassing thing about the Clintons, so they would definitely not want it to get out. And then on top of that, Savannah Guthrie is one of the only people on a national news network that interviewed one of the victims, Virginia Guthrie, who died under mysterious circumstances, was like hit by a car, and then I think she ended up committing suicide, I think. So all of this is very bizarre, and I say this on the show all the time, reality is stranger than fiction, and I really and truly hope that Savannah gets her mother back. But I'm of the opinion, if I just had to just call balls and strikes, I would guess that Savannah's mother, Nancy, is not with us anymore, and I hope that's not true. But I think that they would have given a proof of life by now. I think we're on day 10, and the media is talking about it, and they only sent, I believe, one message saying that they want Bitcoin, and then we saw the homicide investigators say that there's usually a negotiation where they might ask for $10 million, and then they want $5 million. So the fact that there hasn't been any communication whatsoever back and forth, it makes me think that somebody probably took her. And I'm just pure speculation. They probably didn't bring her medicine. She's an 84-year-old woman, scared to death. She could have had a heart attack. They can't take her to the hospital. Anything could have happened. She's a very fragile woman. And sadly, I hope I'm wrong, but I think that her mom is not with us anymore. I think her mom is dead. So if you had to speculate, what do you think the current situation is with Nancy Guthrie?
Oh, I agree. If it has anything to do with the Clintons, she's definitely gone. And people would argue probably and say, well, this was probably, if it had to do with Clinton, it would be a professional hit. And what I saw at that doorbell was not professional. But yet, when you look at all the deaths that are associated, I think you had one man in Arkansas that was tied to a tree with his hands tied behind him, but yet they ruled it a suicide, bullet to the head. Like, how can he do that?
The worst one,
sloppy.
They wrote a book called Boys on the Track, where some boys allegedly saw where What happened was the Iran-Contra, and you can watch this movie called American Made, starring Barry Seal, who's a real person who was assassinated. And it was all about how we were trading guns with Nicaraguans, the Sandinistas, and they were giving us cocaine, and they were flying that cocaine to Mena, Arkansas. And in Mena, they were distributing it from California to Miami, all over the United States of America. It actually was the epicenter of the crack epidemic. Now, there was 2 young boys that died under mysterious circumstances, and what they said happened in Mena, Arkansas is that these 2 young boys were out in the woods and they smoked weed, and they both fell asleep on train tracks and were ran over by a train. And then later on they did an autopsy because the parents fought like hell to get an autopsy, and believe it or not, the guy that ran the autopsy was connected with the Clintons and said, oh, yeah, everything was fine. They definitely smoked weed and died and fell on a train track and got ran over by a train. And, I mean, I'm not going to say...
Can't make it up.
I mean, you can't make that up. And, I mean, I've puffed the devil's lettuce once or twice. I don't think I would be that high that I would fall asleep on a train track and let an Amtrak train or whatever brand of train it was run me over. It's just highly, highly unlikely.
Well, you'd be able to hear it for 2 miles away. Your senses, right, get really... Not that I know, not that I've tried it, but I'm just saying.
You've never tried it.
Friend told me.
Do not tell on yourself, but I'll just tell you this much. Those trains make those, train tracks rumble, and you would feel the vibrational energy from the train
paranoid
coming. Unless it was laced with fentanyl, and I don't even think fentanyl was, popular back then. So, guys, there's a lot of unanswered questions surrounding this whole situation, and I hope that I'm wrong, that Nancy Guthrie is probably deceased. I hope that I'm wrong. I'd love to see her come back. I think it would be a great made-for-TV movie, but I'm not going to hold my breath because it's not looking good. The fact that we haven't had any negotiations with the so-called, hostage takers or whatever. What would they be? Kidnappers, excuse me. I don't even know the proper word. But the fact that we haven't heard any correspondence from the kidnappers, they haven't really asked for anything else other than the $3 million in Bitcoin. It makes me think that it was either an inside job and they fumbled and they made a mistake and they didn't grab the 84-year-old's medicine and sadly she perished and they didn't even want her to die, so they just screwed up. Or it's some sort of inside job where a family member did it, because that's always what happens. If you ever watch Dateline NBC and they can't figure out the killer, it's always the closest loved one. So I don't think Savannah had anything to do with it, but there's probably people in her family that are not multimillionaires and that see her and maybe are jealous. And this is pure speculation, so I'm not accusing anybody of her family of murdering her mother, Nancy. But I've said it for the 3rd time. None of this passes the smell test. And it stinks really, really bad. But speaking of stinking, I went to the Plano City Council, and I just totally defended all of my Indian brothers and sisters, but we're going to be playing that a little bit later. But coming up next, we're going to talk about Michael Jackson and how he's been totally vindicated since the latest Epstein release. You don't want to miss it.
There are few things more aggravating than seeing your tax dollars wasted by the government. All too often, when big government tries to save the day, the funds sent around the world to help people in need are diverted by corrupt leaders to line their own pockets, enrich their cronies, or further an agenda that has nothing to do with helping their countrymen. You can do a better job at promoting freedom than any government can. Scan the QR code now or visit atlasnetwork.org/RAV today to join the worldwide freedom movement. With your gift of just $19 a month, we'll send you an Atlas Network exclusive hat. Plus, we'll send the print edition of our Freedom's Champion magazine to your door. We identify, train up, and celebrate local leaders as they work to make freedom a reality across the world. Our partners often risk everything: their reputations, their livelihoods, even their lives to fight for freedom in places where authoritarianism reigns. Visit atlasnetwork.org/RAV or scan the QR code to join our mission to help pro-freedom organizations around the world. Donate $19 a month to receive your exclusive Atlas Network hat. Through every storm, every moment of uncertainty,
everybody needs to pray for Charlie Kirk right now.
Rav has stood strong.
We're not going to tolerate this stuff anymore.
Turn that anger into motivation to save this nation.
When we move together, there is power.
The cries of this widow will echo like a battle cry.
This is more than news. It's a movement.
This revolution of people taking their countries back.
A turning point. A chance to be part of something greater than yourself. Scan the QR code and stand with Rav. The story isn't over, and neither is your part in it. Step in. Be counted. be heard. Together, we are RAV.
We will achieve American greatness. And we are just getting started.
Hello, all you Ravagers. I'm Billy Howell, your old buddy Carefree Largo from the chat, and I'm thrilled to be part of the Rav family. When I want to be heard, I use my Real America's voice.
Hi, this is Chris from Colorful Colorado. I'm Drawbridge in the Getter chat. I trust no one for my news except Real America's voice. So if anyone asks, I was never here.
My name is Tina, and I'm in Dallas, Texas. I'm so grateful to be able to get my news from an organization like Real America's Voice, whose conservative values align with my own.
To After Hours on Real America's Voice.
Thank you guys for watching After Hours with Alex Stein. We have a great guest, a country music singer and superstar, the one, the only Natasha Owens. And Natasha, we're going to play your song. It is going viral on multiple social media platforms, and it's called The Boss. And I like this song because it's making fun of Bruce Springsteen for being a soy boy, woke libtard. So let's play this full song with the music video, and I want you guys to leave a comment whether you like the song or not. I think it's all been pretty positive, but there might be some haters. You know what they say? There might be. There's always a few, but I love the song, and if my opinion means anything, it's a hit. So let's play the full video right now.
I danced to Rosalita. I shouted out Thunder Road. I used to believe you sang for me in those glory days of old. Where is your song for justice? Where is your song for the working man? I was born in the USA, and you spit on my promised land. You preach from your mansion, but you don't know the cost. I thank God you're not the boss. What about Lake and Riley? Is Charlie too hard to say? What about when you took your shot at the one you call king? Where is your song for justice? Where is your song for the working man? I was born in the USA, and you spit on my promised land. You preach from your mansion, but you don't know the cost. I thank God you're not the boss. I still believe in freedom, 'cause I've got a higher hope. I'll keep singing for America, even if you. Where is a song of compassion? Where is your song for the hurting man? I was born in the USA, and I used to be a loyal fan. You preach from your mansion, and you've lost that human touch. I thank God you're not. I thank God you're
You know, you still need help from the boss. You need help from the boss.
Now, you just watched the music video of Natasha Owens' latest hit single, The Boss. Now, a few elements in the music video were AI, but can you explain to the people not one bit of that song is artificial intelligence, correct, Natasha?
No, we did it in so quickly. We did it in 6 days, which is a record for us. We wore out our entire team. So the writing of it, the production, the vocals, the musicians, All of that is us, our blood, sweat, and tears. Now, the video, we put a little bit of AI in there just to make it funny. You know, I couldn't find a video of Obama and Bruce Springsteen crying and holding each other, so we had to create that.
No, and I like using SOAR and some of the elements when it comes to AI, but I have to ask you a couple of hard questions. You used a few elements that I thought, you know, it made me question our reality. So you used some symbolism from 9/11. Do you think 9/11 was perpetrated by people within the United States government?
Will somebody come Clinton me if I say yes?
Yeah, come on. You know it was an inside job. Just admit it.
It was an absolute inside job.
Thank you. That's what I love already. Okay, now I'm going to ask you the really hard question. You used another symbolism of a boot on space, which is really funny because they say that these space boots still have an impression on the moon. I'm a crazy conspiracy theorist. I don't think in 1969 through 1972 we were able to go through the Van Allen radiation belts 12 times, 6 going there and then 6 coming back with 1 tank of gas. So what do you think about the moon landing? Do you think we really put a man on the moon in 1969?
Well, my God, we didn't have any of the technology. They couldn't even go rescue people from the space station last year, so I would say probably not.
Oh my gosh, you married a great woman, David.
Good choice,
Natasha, you're based. I love it. And you know, it's the thing is you love America, I love America. People take that as an attack on America. We're just calling balls and strikes. I think America is the best country on earth. I think it's one of the few countries that if you come here and you work your butt off, you're going to be successful. But at the same exact time, the government will lie to us. I mean, they're great at peeing on us and telling us it's raining. So I really appreciate you being so honest. Now, that song is great. It's going viral. But my favorite singer of all time is a guy by the name of Michael Jackson. And I think Michael Jackson was unfairly accused of being a predator. Now, he was investigated by the FBI for 19 years. They never found him guilty. And there was a documentary called Leaving Neverland where I can't even say his name, Wade Robson, was the one that accused Michael Jackson of sexually molesting him. But what's crazy about this is Wade Robson was the lead character witness in 2 of Michael Jackson's court cases, 1 civil case and 1 criminal case. So Michael Jackson was very smart. He had a catalog of music that was bigger than Sony's and bigger than a lot of record labels, so he was not an idiot. I don't think that Michael Jackson would be so dumb to put somebody on the stand as his lead character witness if he sexually molested him. And then on top of all that, Wade Robson dated Michael Jackson's niece. So he was obviously very close with the Jacksons, and I think it's disgusting that he would accuse Michael Jackson of doing this to him. Now, I will say that Michael Jackson was a little bizarre. He was a little different. But if you're part of the Jackson 5, I think at 5 years old, and you didn't have a childhood whatsoever, you would probably struggle with arrested development and yearn for a childhood that you never had. Now, I don't know if that's an excuse to be weird, but I want to play a clip of Macaulay Culkin saying that he was friends with Michael Jackson and nothing weird or sexual ever happened with him.
Happened at the house. That's what all these things that people are concerned
that's what's so weird, you know.
What did happen?
Nothing happened, you know. I mean, nothing really. I mean, we played video games, you know. We played it at this amusement park. Well, the thing is with that whole thing is that, you know, they go, oh, you slept in the same bedroom as him. It's like, I don't think you understand. Michael Jackson's bedroom is 2 stories, and it has like 3 bathrooms and this and that. So when I slept in his bedroom, yeah, but you have to understand the whole scenario. And the thing is with Michael is that he's not very good at explaining himself, and he never really has been. Because he's not a very social person. I mean, you're talking about someone who's been sheltered and sheltering himself also for the last 30 years, or and so he's not very good at communicating to people and not very good at conveying what he's actually trying to say to you. And so when he says something like that, people, he doesn't quite understand why people react the way that they do.
Why do you think he likes young people?
It's because it's the same reason why he liked me, was the fact that I didn't care who he was. That was the thing. I talked to him like he was a normal human being, and that's what and kids do that to him because he's not. I mean, he's Michael Jackson, the pop singer, but he's not the god of the king of pop or anything like that. He's just a guy who's actually very kid-like himself.
I mean, I think Macaulay Culkin is being very honest, but before I get your opinion now with the latest Epstein release, where we know Epstein is guilty of sin, a lot of people are on Michael Jackson's side. So I want to play this clip of Aaron Carter saying that he was basically influenced and pressured to say that Michael Jackson touched him when that was not the case. And Aaron Carter stood strong. So rest in peace, Aaron Carter, for being, really strong, because I can tell you this much. If the FBI was in my face telling me to do something or say something, I might say it. That's a tough room to operate in. So let's play this clip of Aaron Carter talking about the pressure that he felt from the FBI and his own mother.
I get back to the Sheraton Hotel at Universal over here. There's 4 FBI agents waiting for me in the hotel room. And my mom's there, and she's like, tell them what happened. And I'm like, what do you mean tell them what happened? And I sit down with them and they all ask these super sexually exploiting, questions, backsided questions. And I knew that at my age already. And I looked at all four of them and I said, are y'all crazy? I said, what you think I'm going to do? Tell you that Michael did something bad so that we can sue him for money? That's what I told him. I was like, you're crazy. And I looked over at my mom and I was like, are you serious, Mom? I was like, what is going on here? Why are you letting this happen? And she goes, well, I think something happened. I think something. I'm like, really? That man did nothing but be hospitable, kind, loving, giving.
Now, Natasha, we have multiple other clips of people saying the same thing, saying that they were pressured to say this, and all the information that I've given you in this short time. What is your opinion now? You don't believe in 9/11. You think the moon landing's a little fuddy-duddy. With the information that I gave you tonight, are you starting to be on my side of history, that Michael Jackson was not a child predator and actually wanted to help children?
Well, I don't know. Let's break it down. He had very bad judgment with makeup and with plastic surgery and nose choices. So, and he was really creepy. I mean, what adult has
Well, okay, now I have to debate you.
I'm just saying.
You know why his face looked like that? You don't even know, because he was in a Pepsi commercial and he got caught on fire. And you don't remember that?
Well, with his money, he could make something very pretty.
I'm just saying that they actually lit him on fire during a commercial shoot. So that's actually why he had all that skin issues.
But you don't leave it half off.
So you do think he was a pedophile, is what you're saying?
I'm just saying he's creepy as heck. He's creepy. He was creepy.
He's a king of pop.
And his voice was creepy. And he had an amusement park, and he's a 35-year-old man.
Well, at least he
riding roller coasters
he invited
with
a lot of kids to
10-year-olds.
come have fun at that amusement park. He didn't do anything nefarious there. Macaulay Culkin was hanging out there. Aaron Carter was there. I mean, if he was going to molest anybody, Macaulay Culkin was in Home Alone. I mean, you think that
definitely.
he would definitely molest him.
Right. No parent supervision there.
He wouldn't let him leave. Macaulay Culkin's the #1 actor in the world at the time. If anybody that wanted to molest somebody, Jeffrey Epstein would have been all gobbling on Macaulay Culkin if he had a chance. So don't even act like that.
Well, this is true, but the fact that people automatically believe it, or it's half the battle trying to convince you that he's not, because he was so creepy. I mean,
he was a little different.
creepy.
He was a little different, but I'll just say this much.
He was talented.
Yeah, if you're 5 years old and you're out there dancing and singing, your dad's whipping you and you're being abused by your parents, not sexually but physically, I think it's going to make you a little bit weird, a little screwed up. So I'm very empathetic to Michael. I love Michael. Now, I'm not going to dox Natasha, but Natasha lives in the DFW area, and you're very familiar. India has moved their whole entire country to this area. I'm not even kidding. In America, we have 33% of the Indian population right here in the DFW area. And I am sick and tired of you racists and bigots calling Indian people negative terms like they stink or that they eat poop. So I went to the Plano City Council and I defended my Indian brothers and sisters. And that's coming up next. And I promise you, you do not want to miss it.
There are few things more aggravating than seeing your tax dollars wasted by the government. All too often, when big government tries to save the day, the funds sent around the world to help people in need are diverted by corrupt leaders to line their own pockets, enrich their cronies, or further an agenda that has nothing to do with helping their countrymen. You can do a better job at promoting freedom than any government can. Scan the QR code now or visit atlasnetwork.org/RAV today to join the worldwide freedom movement. With your gift of just $19 a month, we'll send you an Atlas Network exclusive hat. Plus, we'll send the print edition of our Freedom's Champion magazine to your door. We identify, train up, and celebrate local leaders as they work to make freedom a reality across the world. Our partners often risk everything: their reputations, their livelihoods, even their lives to fight for freedom in places where authoritarianism reigns. Visit atlasnetwork.org/RAV or scan the QR code to join our mission to help pro-freedom organizations around the world. Donate $19 a month to receive your exclusive Atlas Network hat. Through every storm, every moment of uncertainty,
Everybody needs to pray for Charlie Kirk right now.
Rev has stood strong.
We're not going to tolerate this stuff anymore.
Turn that anger into motivation to save this nation.
When we move together, there is power.
The cries of this widow will echo like a battle cry.
This is more than news. It's a movement.
This revolution of people taking their countries back.
A turning point. A chance to be part of something greater than yourself. Scan the QR code and stand with Rev. The story isn't over, and neither is your part in it. Step in, be counted, be heard. Together, we are Rev.
We will achieve American greatness. And we are just getting started.
Hello, all you Ravagers. I'm Billy Howell, your old buddy Carefree Largo from the chat, and I'm thrilled to be part of the Rav family. When I want to be heard, I use my real America's voice.
Hi, this is Chris from Colorful Colorado. I'm Drawbridge in the Getter chat. I trust no one for my news except Real America's Voice. So if anyone asks, I was never here.
My name is Tina, and I'm in Dallas, Texas. I'm so grateful to be able to get my news from an organization like Real America's Voice, whose conservative values align with my own.
Welcome to After Hours with Alex Stein, your #1 Indian content creator in all of the internet. And tonight we have a lovely guest. She is a right-wing racist that doesn't like my people moving into Frisco, Texas. Her name is Natasha Owens. She has a song being very mean to Bruce Springsteen, who I like very much. He's the one that encouraged me to come here and do immigration fraud. So I like Bruce Springsteen. I don't like that you are making fun of Bruce Springsteen. So can you tell us, why do you have this animosity towards me and my Indian brothers and sisters?
Well, I'm okay with you guys coming, but like the whole country doesn't have to come to Frisco. Y'all can disperse amongst the United States, but I would rather have you than a bunch of Muslims. So.
Oh,
hey.
That's very nice, because you know we're not going to do an Allahu Akbar and blow you up. That's why you like it, even though we don't have deodorant. I don't think Muslims wear deodorant either. So let me just tell you something. I love Indians. I love tikka masala. I love it with the creamy tomato-based sauce and the chicken and the white rice and the biryani. Indian culture is very special. But one of my favorite things about Indian culture is the healing properties of the cow dung in the cow urine. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but that is true. That in our culture, we have lots of secrets that Bill Gates would love to use and inject you with, but he won't know because he's too big of a wimp to eat the cow dung. But in my culture, we love it. And so I'm going to defend that because I love the cow. You big Texans, you guys make big steaks, and you guys are disgusting, and I hope that you burn, because there are 19 gods that rule the world that I live in, and one of those gods is Satan. And you killed a cow or ate a cow, you're going to be visiting him for a very long time. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the great work that I did going to the Plano City Council, which has one of the highest concentrations of Indians in the state of Texas. So I went there and I defended it because we're sick of people like you, Natasha, that bully us because we don't wear deodorant. You bully us because we like to drink the urine of cows. You bully us because we all drive Tesla. You bully us because we take your jobs. You bully us because we do H-1B visa fraud, which is ridiculous, because all of your leaders are pedophiles. At least we don't even sleep with kids. We just sleep with goats and cows. So it's much better than a child. So I defended all of my Indian brothers and sisters at the most recent Plano City Council meeting in Plano, Texas. Watch it right here. Hello, Honorable Mayor of City Council. Good evening.
My current situation is very, very bad. I am being bullied by the Muslim Brotherhood because I like to drink and eat special stuff that in your culture is not very respected, but in my culture it has lots of healing properties. I want to say I love Donald Trump for appointing Kash Patel as FBI director. He has beautiful country music sensation as his future bride, and I hope one day to have an authentic Indian marriage and go to their ceremony. But I'm not here for that. I'm all the way from the Holy Land of India, very, very far away. And as you may not know, or you may know, I worship cows. But cow is not no ordinary animal. No. Cow is divine mother. Her milk is Amrit, nectar from heaven. Her urine, Gomutra, is purest medicine straight from the gods. Her dung, Gobar, is holy gold, blessing for health and prosperity. But in this beautiful city of Plano, my HOA is behaving like total narcs, like big old demons, and now even worse, the Muslim Brotherhood in my neighborhood also bullying me nonstop. They come into my house, knocking on my door, shouting at me, "Oh, stop drinking cow pee! Stop eating cow poop!" They saying my cow Lakshmi is haram. My holy practices is dirty. They think it's threatening me. Feed complaints saying they will call the police on me, or more HOA will find me and make my life hell. I'm asking you, please, Mayor of the City of Plano, is this not the land of free? Is this not the land of freedom of religion? Tala Oliveira made a video trying to come after my culture. I like the cow dung. I like it for the health benefits. I know that you're not used to it. You big Texans, you eat steak, and that's disgusting, and I hope that you will burn and burn forever for your crimes against this sweet cow. So I ask you, can HOA come into my house and tell me not to eat cow dung?
20 seconds.
I don't understand. Please, Mayor, I beg you, let me eat the cow dung. It has healing properties. And I love you, Kash Patel. He's protecting the Epstein victims, but, so what? At least we got an Indian in there, right? Thank you. Have a good evening, and goodbye.
So that's me. I'm at the city council meeting going crazy for my Indian brothers and sisters. I was full of biryani and I was totally out of my mind. But you know what? I sent a message to all of the Muslim Brotherhood that want to come into my house and deny me my ability to eat cow poop. So what do you think about that, Miss Racist Bigot Natasha Owens of that video? Do you think that I defended my Indian brothers and sisters sufficiently, in your opinion?
I think you represented them incredible. You should go on the streets of Plano and Frisco right now, and they should be applauding you and giving you all kinds of awards.
Well, I want to break the accent for a second because everybody knows that I'm trans-Indian. If I did that in the street, I actually would not worry because Indians are very docile. They would get mad, but they would just hack into my iCloud and then share my dick pics. But, that's how they do it. They operate because they know how to use the internet really well. But, that's actually not true. I'm not even kidding. And, gosh, now it seems like I don't like Indians, even though I am part Indian. They did a survey, and Indians are actually more likely to lie on a job application and a school application than any other race. And as a matter of fact, Minnie Kaling from The Office, her brother wrote a book about how he lied and put that he was black on his medical school application to get in. So, listen, I'm not saying Indians are bad. I'm saying they're smart. They know how to game the system. That's why they do all these H-1B visas. That's why they're able to get social services. Well, most Americans and veterans are struggling to make ends meet. So I can't, don't hate the player, hate the game is what they say when it comes to that. So these Indians, they're good at playing the game. When it comes to fist fighting or anything physical, they play cricket. They're all a bunch of, I don't want to say the word, but it starts with a P and ends with a Y. So I'm not really worried about doing this to their face, but I am worried about them hacking my internet. But back to the point that I was trying to make, they actually did another thing. Americans are actually better at tech-related things and test higher than Indians. So the idea that like they're so good at the internet, it's just because they're tryhards and they just lie on applications and they're willing to work for like 25 cents an hour. So it's not even true that they're better at computer science than an American. And that's actually one of the reasons why they say the Boeing recent 737 MAX 8 jets, you know, the ones that were falling out of the sky, yes. They said, I'm not even kidding. I mean, you guys can look this up. That they were the ones that were, Boeing was outsourcing some of that code to Indian code writers, and that's one of the reasons that the plane was having issues, because the computer of the plane was making the plane just dive, you know, hundreds of thousands of feet actually, and if the plane wasn't high enough, then it would hit the ground. So I don't know, these Indians, they're smart, but they do eat cow poop. That's not actually a joke. I saw some of these Indians getting mad at me in the comments, but they do have a festival every year, and they go and they drink the urine and they eat the cow dung, and you can go on Amazon. I should have had this. I should have sent it to the producer. You can actually buy cow poop pellets on Amazon.com. And
I can bring some of my dog poop. I got 4 dogs at home.
Dog poop does not have the healing properties. Dog poop does not have the healing properties, Natasha. You disrespect my culture by saying that I want dog poop. No, it's cow poop, you idiots. We like cow poop, not dog poop. So, Natasha, how'd you enjoy the show?
Oh, my God. Funnest thing I've ever done in my life.
You're going to get canceled. Do you understand that? Did you?
I'm already canceled.
Okay, good.
Already.
Because this
Somebody called her racist.
Well, good. And it's not true. Natasha loves Indians. Actually, I was trying to twist her arm. I was like, come on, let's tease the Indians a little bit. She's like, a lot of my friends are Indians. But I have a lot of Indian friends. Jay Mandiam, Deepak. And they understand the jokes. And their parents. It's funny. I'm saying they grew up with strict Indian parents as well. So they kind of get some of the Indian culture being a little bit, not the same as our culture, very different. So they kind of understand the jokes. But I really appreciate you being a good sport. I appreciate the Plano City Council for giving me the opportunity to defend the Indian Brotherhood. But before we go, Natasha, how can people find you and support you? And then we're going to end the show by playing another snippet of your song. But before we end the show, how can people support you to make sure that you become the country music sensation, just like Cash Patel's girlfriend, Alexis Ruikens, #1 FBI director, country music sensation, future bride?
Go to NatashaOwensMusic.com, but really go to iTunes, because when you purchase it on iTunes, it makes all the difference in the world. Spotify, 350 spins to get 1 iTunes buy. We want to make a statement with this. We've already gone #1. We already knocked Bruce completely out of that #1 spot, but it's a culture war, and we are tech suppressed. I can't advertise. I don't have any of the tools that any of the other artist has. So I need you. I need you to go to iTunes and purchase it and share it with everybody, and let's make a statement with this song.
I agree. You need to also watch this show, like it, and share these clips to everybody, especially your Indian friends, because maybe they'll cancel us, and in that, they'll accidentally make us go very super viral. So thank you guys for watching After Hours with Alex Stein. This is The Boss by Natasha Owens. I hope you guys enjoy it.
The boss. What about Lake and Riley? Is Charlie too hard to say? What about when you took your shot at the one you call king? Where is your song for justice? Where is your song for working man? I was born in the USA, and you spit on my promised land. From your mansion, but you don't know the cost. I thank God you're not the boss.
There are a few things more aggravating than seeing your tax dollars wasted by the government. All too often, when big government tries to save the day, the funds sent around the world to help people in need are diverted by corrupt leaders to line their own pockets, enrich their cronies, or further an agenda that has nothing to do with helping their countrymen. You can do a better job at promoting freedom than any government can. Scan the QR code now or visit atlasnetwork.org/RAV today to join the worldwide freedom movement. With your gift of just $19 a month, we'll send you an Atlas Network exclusive hat. Plus, we'll send the print edition of our Freedom's Champion magazine to your door. We identify, train up, and celebrate local leaders as they work to make freedom a reality across the world. Our partners often risk everything: their reputations, their livelihoods, even their lives to fight for freedom in places where authoritarianism reigns. Visit atlasnetwork.org/RAV or scan the QR code to join our mission to help pro-freedom organizations around the world. Donate $19 a month to receive your exclusive Atlas Network hat. Through every storm, every moment of uncertainty,
Everybody needs to pray for Charlie Kirk right now.
RAV has stood strong.
We're not going to tolerate this stuff anymore.
Turn that anger into motivation to save this nation.
When we move together, there is power.
The cries of this widow will echo like a battle cry.